off this list in our number 10 spot, we have a cautionary tale. We are starting off spooky today with this one. This video serves as a reminder to always be aware of your surroundings. This video shows a woman and her son coming home, and it appears to be dark outside. Nothing is out of the ordinary, they're just getting inside and talking about their evening routine, that sort of thing. The danger only comes once the door is closed and we see a man quickly approach the door that they just went through. The guy tries to open the door, but thankfully they had already locked it and he wasn't able to. The woman sees the man either through the door or on the doorbell camera, and she begins telling him to get out of there. He clearly was watching them and waiting for them to enter, hoping that they wouldn't have locked the door so quickly. Like I mentioned before, it's just a great reminder to always watch your surroundings. You unfortunately never know.
Number 9. The bare necessities. The first of the many bear clips coming in this list. Here we go. Now, it's one thing for a person to try and enter your home out of the blue. That's pretty jarring. But when an animal does it, it can be a lot harder to handle. Like, say, I don't know, a bear, for example. This doorbell recording is, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty badass. It's not even a year old. You've probably seen it, hopefully not. It's straight out of Daytona Beach, Florida. A man was chilling on his porch one evening with his puppies, and a bear, I guess, saw the puppies and then just decided to approach. Not in a calm demeanor. After growling and pushing the bear back, the man quickly used a bench to block the bear from coming back again. Yeah, good thing you had that bench, that giant bench just handy. That's crazy. Who has a bench? Must be nice.
In our number 8 spot today, we have a strange moment. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I have talked about this video on the channel before, and I'm bringing it back for this one because this remains one of the strangest things I've ever seen, and we see a lot of weird stuff here on Most Amazing Top 10. Why don't you actually leave us a comment down below on what the strangest thing you can remember seeing on this channel is. I'm sure there's some of you out there who have some pretty good ones. This doorbell footage shows a stranger approaching the door, and instead of knocking or attempting to rob them or threatening them, he instead just begins licking their doorbell. There is no amount of doorbell licking that is an appropriate amount, but I have to say this guy really overdoes it. Like, he is absolutely going to town on their doorbell. So much so, they probably had to get a new one, because at what point do you just let that slide? Would you ever feel comfortable touching that doorbell again? Letting your guests touch it, knowing what it went through? I just simply couldn't. I don't want that weighing on my shoulders. Anyway, this video is definitely one I'd call concerning.
Number 7. Parkour. If you're not thinking about getting a doorbell camera at this point, well, perhaps this next clip might do the trick. Let's see. Now, this is the middle of the night. This guy is trying to climb onto the roof, it seems. Maybe a window was open. He was trying to Romeo and Juliet situation. I don't really know. Who knows? But it doesn't seem like he knew there was a camera there, which is the most alarming part. Imagine checking the footage the next morning and it's just a stranger bouldering your front door. That's probably pretty alarming. It's just his crotch right there for about 2 minutes. It's not very healthy for the soul.
In our number 6 spot today, we have bad intentions. This video is taken from a Ring doorbell camera, and it captures something very real and terrifying. This video shows 2 robbers going up to the house and knocking on the door, hoping for the family inside to open the door. Apparently, the one who knocks on the door was even saying the name of one of the family members, so it's likely that they somehow knew each other. Luckily, the family obviously checked the camera before heading to the door and saw this because they were actually home at the time and no one answered. The robbers didn't even try to break in, but were obviously waiting for someone to open the door, which feels really sinister.
Number 5. Busted. Welcome to the future. This is why you don't try and steal a bike in 2022. Or 2021 if you can go back in time. If you're a time traveler, don't do it then either. You're gonna get caught, and you're gonna get caught in 4K.
Can I help you with something? Can you please put that back?
I didn't take anything. I just looked at it. My bad. I took a piss, and then I saw it was a bike. I just looked at the bike. Sorry.
Imagine getting caught and having a conversation in real time with the homeowner. How embarrassing is that? Backpack Brandon over here decided to hop into a stranger's backyard, urinate, and as if that wasn't already, enough red flags, Backpack Brandon decides to take a peek under this tarp at an expensive motorcycle. Yeah, it's not looking very good. Not looking very nice in your case there, my friend. That's when the owner luckily hops onto the hot mic inside the house, and they have a real life conversation right there.
My bad.
Gotta leave the house. The police are on the way.
get cameras, because you never know. Somebody's curious bladder might just roll up onto your back or front yard.
In our number 4 spot today, we have doorbell footage. This next footage comes from a doorbell camera, and it shows the terrifying moment a stranger begins trying to break into a woman's home. She starts off by kind of backing up and just throwing her body into a window until it breaks. The stranger wasn't in any immediate danger, she was fine, but it does appear as though she may be a little bit confused about her whereabouts, which is of course a huge problem and is for sure kind of sad. The woman whose home it is rightfully pretty freaked out and concerned about what is happening. I mean, I mentioned how the stranger trying to break in is confused, so you can imagine how confused the lady, who was probably just trying to sleep, was. Eventually, a police officer shows up and speaks to the woman who claims that her friend is in the house. Obviously, this isn't the case, but this is why I believe she may have been confused as to where exactly she was. In the end, everyone left the situation safely, but the tensions were definitely high.
Number 3, balloon kid. It's one thing to catch a bear or a person sniffing and or licking your front door, but sometimes you catch bizarre once-in-a-lifetime incidents, like this one, for example. What a graceful landing, first of all, and also, where did this come from? Who does this? What is this, like a neighborhood common occurrence? Hot air balloons are terrifying. Yeah, here, hop in this wicker basket and we'll see what happens. We'll see where you end up. Maybe someone's backyard, I don't know. How do you even steer these things? We'll fill it with hot breath and you'll sail around the world. So romantic. Have you ever rode in a hot air balloon? Is it romantic or is it terrifying? Comment down below because, I don't know, we're both afraid of heights. A hot air balloon. Imagine a hot air balloon date. That would be our collective demise. No way.
In our number 2 spot today, we have the nosy neighbor. This doorbell video, or really series of videos, shows a nosy neighbor trying their hardest to destroy the camera that their neighbor has set up. I'm not sure why they feel so strongly about these cameras, but clearly he does, because he will not let them rest. He tries his hands, a screwdriver, he tries a hammer for the camera in the back. Clearly this guy doesn't want the camera around, but I have to ask the question as to why. Why is he so worried about these cameras on his neighbor's property? Seems a little suspicious to me.
And finally, number 1, can't bear it. All right, we're gonna finish with another bear clip. Actually 2, we're gonna do a 2-for-1 because it's Christmas. Well, at least it's Christmas in this recording, in this doorbell recording. Here we go. 2018 in Florida. It's the holiday season and this black bear is in no festive mood, my friends. Look at this little Grinch right here. First, he knocks over the lovely decor, and then just to wake everybody up, he politely boops the doorbell with his nice damp little nose. Oh, they're so cute. I wanna pet it, but I don't wanna lose my arm, so never pet a black bear. Deal. There's the link, we'll put it in somewhere. If you're wondering how you can avoid such an encounter, put up a cross. Yeah, apparently crosses hanging outside of your home compels bears from trashing your front doorstep. Yeah, this one here is from Alaska. This bear stands up, which first of all, so jarring, stands up, looks at the cross, and then decides, I'm gonna head out. I'm not a religious man myself, but it seems a few black bears are, so there you go, the more you know. Number 10, doorbell licker. And immediately into the weird. Here we go. I'm wasting no time today. This one's short and sweet. Not much explaining to do here. Back in 2019, a man was caught on camera approaching a home in a neighborhood in Salinas, California. He was seen through this Ring camera. Now, he doesn't say much. He just shows up and immediately he starts licking the doorbell. Not the camera, but the actual button, like the actual doorbell. He must have rang the bell thousands of times because he did this for 3 hours straight. The homeowner said in a following interview after seeing the footage, they said, and I quote, "Oh boy, that is just weird." Yeah, oh boy indeed, that's quite weird. I'm getting a doorbell camera tomorrow. Number 9, Vegas visitor. This one was quite recent. Watching the video absolutely freaks me out. This is terrifying. This happened just over a year ago in Las Vegas. This was at 8:20 p.m. It's barely nighttime, and this man shows up out of nowhere, and the doorbell cam catches him asking to come inside the house. He's asking the homeowner over and over if he can enter, and then proceeds to announce horrible things that he'll do once inside the house. This is terrifying. This guy is also humongous. He could kick this door down if he wanted to. He also announces that he has weapons on him, and then he announces that he intends to use said weapons. It's so jarring. This guy was thankfully arrested later on thanks to this doorbell camera being on. Don't answer the door to anyone. Just play it safe always. I didn't answer the door to the paper kid growing up because it's not worth it. People are so scary. And also that kid was weird. Number 8, TV head. Stepping away from the worst of the worst for a hot minute, let's shine the spotlight on some weird stuff, you know? Like for example, the guy wearing a TV on his head. Yep, that's pretty weird. That's a thing, apparently. I actually remember seeing this a few years ago. It kind of spooked me. Back in 2019, this man would appear in Virginia and he visited more than 50 residents. He would show up with the TV on as a head, and then if that wasn't already weird enough, he would leave an old TV on your doorstep. They're all old, humongous TVs. They're so annoying to move. Also, at the same time, this is so creepy. Middle of the night, this guy shows up. Many believe this man was inspired by the comic book series Saga. There's a race of, TV alien heads in that comic. So this could be a fan of Prince Robot IV. Who knows? Either way, this is so annoying. Like, imagine an elderly couple waking up having to figure this out on a Sunday morning. That's so inconsiderate. Don't do this. Don't be a prankster. Get out of here. Number 7, attempted break-in. This one happened around 2 p.m. Another horrifying encounter happening in broad daylight. How is this? This is so scary. 2 men attempted to kick the front door down and break in an Oakland, California home. One man rang the bell. The person who was home at the time was wearing headphones, listening to music, so luckily they didn't hear the initial doorbell ring. The man came back again with a partner shortly after, and this time they tried ringing again, and then after getting no response, he attempted to kick the door down. Now the person who was home did hear this, and they yelled, and the attackers luckily fled the scene. This is so terrifying. This happened in the middle of the day. Just no matter what, if you don't know the person, don't answer the door, call 911. Easy, play it safe. Number 6, Matt doesn't live here. This one I need your help on, honestly. There's a backstory here and we need to find it. We need to figure this out. Back in 2016, in the middle of an August summer night, this man approaches, topless, always a great sign. And as he's slowly approaching this home, he's looking back at somebody off camera, right? He has the I'm about to ring the doorbell and run away vibe. You know what I'm saying? He's looking back, he's getting ready, he's stretching his arms out, something's gonna happen. But instead of knocking and running, he pretends to knock, he knocks the air, and then pretends to ask somebody if Matt's home. He does it so the other person can clearly see him doing this. So I don't know if it was a dare or some sort of attempted break-in that we just can't yet decipher, but either way, it's jarring. Sound off in the comments down below. What was this guy doing? Number 5. A grim warning. This one comes from user rightmind2723. Great name. They say, we had a series of break-ins in our neighborhood when doorbell cameras first came out. So we got one because my husband often worked late and I would be home alone with the kids. Great idea. I'm starting to understand your username. Right mind indeed, my friend. Very right mind. Since they were so new, most people didn't know that it was a camera. So one night my phone pinged that there was a movement. I pulled it up and it was 2 guys talking about if they should try and go to the back of the house to break in. I was on the line with 911 so fast and the cops arrived even faster. The cops caught them both and it turns out these were the 2 men responsible for all of the other break-ins. Yeah, they didn't realize I was home. Neighbors all got cameras after this. Yeah, as they should. You should get 7% of their profits. That's like, you know what, you got some deals. 20 people buy stuff, that's, you're working for them. Again, play it safe, call 911, hide. Exhibit A. Number 4, found a key. Ooh, this one comes from Reddit user ending is near here. Okay, solid name, a little more spooky than the last, but we'll like it. They say, once I got an alert that someone was at the door. My dog was also barking at the time, but I didn't hear a knock. I then heard something myself, so I checked the camera, and I saw this younger looking guy at the doorstep. He had walked up and tried to unlock my front door with what I guess was a key he found on the ground close to my house. Luckily, he didn't get in. This happened in broad daylight with cars still in the driveway. Yeah, these types of scenarios always creep me out. People love hiding keys and like fake rocks in front of their homes. Don't do this, no way. People know about these. They will look for fake rocks. Also, they're pretty obvious most of the time. I don't know. Keep your spares very hidden. People will try anything at any time. Number 3, sleepwalker. My brother Kyle has night terrors. This man would get up in the middle of the night and just start doing dishes and whistling. It was so terrifying. I truly feel bad for sleepwalkers, okay? I get it. Not as much as Kyle, but I get it. I've seen it. This one comes from Reddit user Raging Ball of Fury. Amazing name. They say, my little brother is a sleepwalker. We'd gotten an alert and saw that he had snuck out of the house while we were still asleep. And my sister said she heard someone talking just outside of the front door. I went to look and I saw my brother sitting on the porch, apparently having a conversation with our grandfather despite being alone at the time. She says he was saying, I love you and I'm going to miss you. Nice stuff like that. My dad got him back inside the house without waking him up, which is also so impressive, side comment, and nobody gave it much thought until a couple hours later when my uncle called telling us my grandfather had passed away while he was asleep. My little brother says he doesn't remember any of this, but we got it all on video. We can't hear what he's saying too clearly, but he was definitely talking to somebody, and he sure as heck said, I'm going to miss you, at least twice. That's touching. I had to throw in a nicer one before we, get yucky again. Number 2. Not cops. immediately back into the terrifying again. This is a hard one. If I saw this outside my front door, I would have probably opened the door. I don't know, this is confusing. This is why doorbell cameras with audio are vital, okay? This comes from an anonymous source. They say, I have a camera doorbell. The creepiest thing I ever saw was the night I had two cops come to my door. They stood outside the door talking to each other about if I was home or not and who would have me first or try and break in first. I was at home at the time and my dog alerted me by whining at the door. So I checked the DV cam, saw them, listened to them talking for about 10 seconds before I myself called the real 911. The operator told me they didn't have any cops in my area at the time and to stay away from the door and to put at least one more locked door between me and them and to stay on the line and to be quiet until the real cops could get there. This is how you do it, okay. I live around the block from a fire department, so it was less than 2 minutes when a fire truck pulled up, then these two fake cops ran away. God, that's so scary. The amount of videos I've seen online where people pretend to be police officers, it's terrifying. And also so cringe. Just like a dude trying to pull you over, he's like grabbing a non-existent vest. I'm like, what are you doing? Get a job. Unless you call them, pretend like you aren't home. Just hide, or unless you're a criminal, then for sure come out. It's over, Buster, right? You're going to jail. And finally, number 1. Not hired help. This one is very controversial in the comments. I need to know where you all stand on this matter, because I myself am on the fence. I wanted to end this video off on a little question mark. This footage is from 2017, and the description of the video says, a suspicious man walks to my door and has no clear answers to my questions and then leaves. Thanks to Ring Doorbell for saving the day yet again. Okay, quite the description, so I watched it, I read the comments, let's talk shop. Half of the comments here are upset at the user. They're defending this man off the bat, saying clearly it sounds like he was part of the crew that had laid the tile outside of the homeowner's door previous, right? It must have been a long time ago, and if you're not the original homeowner, he's mixing you up with somebody else. Somebody else comments how the guy noticed a package on the ground, but he didn't steal it. So he's not a thief, right? Others think he's trying to get more work done by coming back to the same location, right? My take on this, again, if you don't know who's at your door, you don't have to get it. You're an adult. That's it. Enough said. That's your home. You can do whatever you want. Just pretend like you're taking a shit. That's it. Sorry, I missed the door. This person in the recording was talking to the man, and they told him that they weren't home for another 20 minutes because they were in a meeting. They were a little bit too polite in a sense, even if it was okay to be polite to someone. You know what I mean? Never tell anybody you're home. Stay safe. Okay? That's it. Stay safe. That's how I'm gonna end this.
Coming in at number 10 is Let Me In. Now, Mandy set up Ring cameras around her rural property to capture footage of the wildlife, but when the mom of 2 was out with her family one night, she got a notification about movement near her back door. When she looked at the footage, she noticed a shadow before someone loudly whispers the words, "Let me in." There is then rapid scratching as if someone is trying to enter her home. Now, terrified by the encounter, she started closely monitoring her cameras, and when she found more footage of a figure lurking near her back shed, and then another night a cloaked person slowly walked up to her backyard, staring up at her house. Now, in the first clip, a strange figure walks into the corner of the frame and lingers near Mandy's back shed before leaving. In the second clip, the person makes her way into the backyard and stands just a meter from the back steps, near where Mandy was tending to her sick baby inside. We notified authorities, but this is making me feel angry, confused, and concerned, she said. Now, Mandy went on to explain that she had now added extra security cameras with floodlights, and that the US couple are now armed in order to protect their family from any future trespassers. Now, people were incredibly disturbed by the footage Mandy had captured, saying they believe the first one to be a spirit, but the second one to be an actual person messing with the family. Yeah, I think they need to move ASAP. Number 9. Are you sure? Now, this footage scares me to my core. It shows a man approaching a house and repeatedly knocking on the door while repeating, "I just have a couple questions for you. Are you sure?" Now, this goes on for a couple of minutes before a man responds over the Ring doorbell. At this point, the footage turns all the more unsettling as the man at the door says he wants to take advantage of and end the life of the woman inside the house. Now, the footage was shared by Amanda Nowak of Las Vegas, and according to Amanda, she was inside the house hiding during the entire encounter. Now, the man never saw her and was never actually speaking directly to her in the tense 3 minutes, and thankfully the man has been arrested, but that doesn't make the footage any less unnerving. Number 8. past homeowner. Apparently, if your family owned a property decades ago and sold it, that still means it's yours. Well, at least according to Judy Klein. Since January 2022, she has been harassing a Mexican family in St. Louis, Missouri, accusing them of being in the country illegally. Over several incidents, Judy had broken into their basement, damaged items, racial his family, and threatened them with a hammer. It wasn't until ring footage of her shouting obscenities on the family's doorstep was put online that the authorities took things more seriously. In the past year, Judy had reportedly only been taken into custody temporarily, which is why she kept coming back. In February 2023, Judy was arrested on several charges, including burglary and using a weapon. In June, she gained another offense with interference of housing rights, and now she's also banned from being near or contacting the family. Number 7. The Masked Man. Finding a masked man at your front door in the middle of the night can be pretty scary, but when that man returns to your home 3 times in 1 week, it's downright frightening, a blogger for Ring explains. Now they said that because that's exactly what happened to a family in Milford, Connecticut. After just a couple of days into their vacation, where they were more than 100 miles away from their home, Ring alerted them that a masked man was at their front door. Though he couldn't break in, he returned a few days later. Now despite the family sending the videos to police and local news stations, the man returned again. This time, however, he was arrested, and thank God, because who knows what he would have tried to do. Number 6. Poison. A man who lived below a family in Florida got fed up with hearing noises from above him and felt that his complaints were not being heard, so he tried to poison them, and it was caught on camera. Umar Abdullah, his pregnant wife, and their young daughter moved into the apartment complex in June 2022. The man below them soon began sending angry texts to his new neighbors, complaining that he was losing sleep over the sound of a toilet seat clanging. Soon after, the family suddenly began experiencing unexplained bouts of nausea and dizziness. A family friend first noticed a chemical odor while grabbing a package for them while they were away on vacation. Umar then also noticed the scent and suspected an issue with his water heater. However, the stench persisted even after he replaced the appliance and had his air ducts and vents cleaned. Now desperate for resolution, he called the fire department, who conducted tests but found nothing amiss. Now he eventually noticed a small crack in his doorway and began to suspect his neighbor. After falling ill yet again, he set up a hidden camera outside his door and was shocked to see his neighbor crouching down and emptying a syringe under his front door. The man used a laboratory on the University of South Florida campus to mix and load liquid syringes on multiple occasions with the intent to harm residents of the condominium. He was then arrested on June 27th, and a hazmat team revealed the liquid chemical agent contained a combination of methadone and hydrocodone, both opioid pain medications. Now, word of the shocking poisoning sent other residents of the Oxford Place at Tampa Palms into a state of panic, and according to a suit, they seek to kick out the man and his co-owner roommate from the complex. Number 5. Standing visitor. A woman who wished to remain anonymous checked her doorbell camera to find a stranger standing outside her house and staring for a few minutes. The resident, who lives in one of the houses in the Darlings of Hart Village near Hartpool, said the incident happened at 3:15 a.m. on Monday, January 31st, 2022. She shared the alarming footage to a local community Facebook page and warned other residents to be careful. In the clip, a tall, skinny-built man in a dark-colored jacket walks to the footpath right in front of her house and stops midway. He stalls and appears to check on his phone before stepping forward again, taking a pause. Now, according to the timestamp, he stayed for about 6 minutes before he walked away from the camera. The woman said he stood there for a few minutes from 3:15 a.m. to 3:21 a.m. She added then that he disappeared for an hour, not sure where, and then he came back running from the side of her house into a car. Nothing seems to be taken, but it's just super creepy, she said. She asked her neighbors to see if they have seen the man near their houses, but they said no, but a resident replied on her Facebook page that something similar happened to them a few weeks ago. Number 4. Kidnapping. On November 12, 2019, disturbing footage of a woman screaming for help was captured from a Ring doorbell camera in Los Angeles around 11 p.m. Now, the police were not aware of the doorbell footage until the following morning, but responded to a report of a possible kidnapping. LAPD officer Mike Lopez said responding authorities could not find evidence of a crime, and after the footage came to light, the LAPD reopened their investigation. Now, the screams were thought to be coming from a white vehicle that drives down the street. A woman is heard yelling, "Somebody help me," and a witness claims she also heard a man say, "I'm sorry." Now, what's crazy about this footage though is that the neighbor comes out of her house and hears all the screaming and does absolutely nothing. The bystander effect is truly disgusting, and she could have saved that woman. Number 3. doorbell licker. On January 8, 2019, police started searching for a man in Salinas, California, who spent 3 hours licking a doorbell in the middle of the night. The individual in question, Roberto Daniel Aurora, was easy to track down thanks to a newly installed surveillance system at the home. The Duggan family were not home when Roberto made his way to their doorbell, but their children were. Roberto also moved an extension cord in the front yard, and he relieved himself on camera. But yeah, he licked a doorbell for 3 hours, which is just disturbing. You kind of laugh about it afterwards because technically he didn't harm anyone, he didn't break anything, homeowner Sylvia told ABC, but I don't know if I'd be able to laugh about it though because it was extremely weird. Number 2, strange woman. On August 24th, 2018, a resident from the Sunrise Ranch neighborhood in Montgomery, Texas, contacted local authorities after a strange woman rang her doorbell in the middle of the night. A partially undressed woman who appeared to be wearing some sort of hand restraint rang the bell and left. Some people believe she was related to a local missing persons, but law enforcement do not believe that she matched the missing person flyers that were sent in. Now, deputies canvassed the area with descriptions of the mysterious woman and asked neighbors if they had heard anything. Then on August 29th, authorities identified the 32-year-old woman as only Lauren. Police confirmed that she was alive after a house call. A man in the home threatened to end his life, and when authorities arrived, they discovered the man, later identified as Dennis Collins. He had died from a self-inflicted. Now, Dennis's girlfriend was the mysterious woman. Authorities say she is the victim of domestic violence. On September 18th, Lauren opened up on Inside Edition detailing how she ended up at the doorbell. She fell asleep next to her boyfriend of 4 months and woke up to what seemed like a nightmare. I woke up and he was kneeling on my chest and stuffing some sort of cloths in my mouth, she said. I truly felt like I was going to die that night. And coming in at number 1 is house explosion. On August 16th of this year, an explosion in a residential suburb outside of Pittsburgh left 6 people dead, including a father and son, and injured several others. It destroyed 3 houses and damaged at least a dozen more, authorities said. First responders who rushed to the plum found people trapped under debris and took 3 people to the hospital. The remains of 5 victims, 4 adults and 1 child, was also found at the scene. Another person died a couple days later at a local hospital. The Allegheny County Office of the Medical Examiner said. The incident appeared to begin when one house exploded, engulfing 2 neighboring homes in flames as well, according to the county. Now, multiple other homes were damaged with windows blown out, and crews from 18 fire departments covered the scene and put out the flames and sift through the rubble. Now, what's incredible is that a neighboring house caught the explosion on camera. Fire officials are still investigating the cause of the explosion, and investigators are aware the homeowners of the exploded house were having issues with the water tank in their basement and are looking into that as a potential cause, along with any and all other possibilities, they said in an update. I heard this boom. It was so loud that it woke me up. I thought it was thunder from the storms last night, a neighbor, Alexis Tempinski, told CNN affiliate WTAE. My water bottle fell on me instantaneously. I was shaking. It scared me so bad.
Starting off this countdown, we have the slithery friend. Oh, I don't like snakes. That is terrifying. Look how big it is. Oh, hell no. Oh no, hell to the no. No, no. I would never go outside ever again. Where is this? Where are they living? Thank God in Canada we don't have just like snakes roaming around to like climb on our doors. But imagine opening up the door and seeing that guy just like, hey, how's it going? That's my snake impression. But I think it would be vicious and like attack. No thank you, I really don't like snakes. They give me the heebie-jeebies. Moving on to number 9, we have the masked man. And if you guys are liking this video so far, then you know the drill. Hit that thumbs up button because it really helps us out. The creepy masked man that you just saw came to the same house 3 times in 1 week. The homeowners Richard and Sandra Gerber were away on vacation when they got an alert that someone was at their front door. This man would come, ring the doorbell, and then leave. Like I said, he did this on 3 different nights. On one night, he tried to break in. Now, the owners alerted the police about this man, and so they actually staked out in their backyard. They were just waiting for the man to return. And they caught him. Turns out that the scary masked man is a man named Walter Denike, and he was arrested and found guilty of attempted burglary. In our 8th spot, we have the creepy doll. What is going on? What is going on? I don't like that. I don't like creepy dolls. I don't like a lot of things. I just realized I don't like snakes. I don't like creepy dolls. Wow, but that thing's terrifying, especially with the sound effects. Can you imagine looking and you're like, oh, who's there? Oh, is it a Girl Scout? And you look and it's this girl? That's creepy. No, thank you. Call the cops. Sage your house. Get out of there. Coming in at number 7, we have the doorbell licker. On Saturday, January 5th, in the early hours of the morning, a doorbell cam caught a strange man licking someone's doorbell system for 3 hours. Why did he do this? Well, that's the question we all want to know. Doesn't he have better things to do? Guess not. The homeowners were confused as to who this man was and why he decided to target their house for a licking session. Well, they ended up giving the footage over to the police and they managed to catch the man. His name is Robert Arroyo, and apparently he has been accused of stealing extension cords from Christmas decorations. And so police recognized him instantly, and they too were weirded out by his behavior. In our 6th spot, we have the uninvited guest. Oh no. 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 Oh my god, it's so big. Ew, ew. Oh man, that is disgusting. That is so gross. Where is this? Is this Australia? Because I know they have huge spiders there. Again, I'm glad that we don't have big spiders where I live, because that's a big note from me. Did you see that thing? It was massive. That's disgusting. Imagine somebody, like the mailman, coming up to your door, about to ring the door, and seeing that. No, no. Oh. Whew. I feel like there's a spider on me now. Gross. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the clown. So a couple of years ago in Green Bay, Wisconsin, a number of residents were terrified after seeing this strange clown walking around in the middle of the night. The man you just saw in the video was named Gags the Green Bay Clown. He was first spotted at 2 a.m. on August 1st. Then over the nights, he would stalk a number of homes. If you're scared of clowns, then surely seeing this outside your house in the middle of the night would give you a heart attack. And at number 4, we have the eye. That was so creepy. All I heard is, hey, hey, what do I do? There's a big creature. That's like literally all I heard, and that's all I need to hear, because that's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. Who is this dude? Who is this house? Why doesn't he just call the cops? And why has he got a really creepy eyeball? And like I said, he's gonna pluck those eyebrows, because, you know, they're not working. I hope that man's okay. Yeah. That's all I gotta say. Coming in at number 3, we have the ghost. Now, what's terrifying about this next clip is the fact that we can hear somebody at the door, but we can't see anyone. The Ring doorbell went off and started recording, so it clearly detected that something was there. But what is it? By sounds of the voice, it's probably a demon. I think it's time for that house to have an exorcism or something. If anyone can decode what that demon is talking about, then let me know. Maybe it's just cold and wants to come in and warm up. Moving on to number 2, we have the delivery. Hear the police sirens? Oh my god. It's like they're coming for him. What is that? What did he just drop off on their front porch? I don't know, but I wouldn't open that. Nuh-uh. I have no clue what that is, and I don't want to know what that is because it's probably something bad, because this looks like an evil man and I don't like him. That's terrifying. And in our number 1 spot, we have the old woman. She's not okay. She is possessed or something. I have no clue what was in her hand. She's definitely possessed by something. I don't know what's wrong with her. Her face looks evil. Like, that's an evil Karen right there, and I don't like that. See, this is why I don't want to get one of these doorbells. Like, I feel like I should, because it's like I can spy on people that come and, you know. But at the same time, it's like, do I really want to know who's standing outside my house? Not really. It's scary.
Coming in number 10, we have the mysterious shadow figure. Now, the start of this video just looks like a normal person walking out. Like, honestly, you'll see what I'm talking about when you see it. In fact, let's just jump right into the clip so I can show you. See how it looks like just a normal person walking out with a flashlight, just doing a stroll? I mean, it's in the middle of the night, so it would be a little weird to go for a midnight stroll, but then the person turns into nothingness, and then you see the shadowy figure walk past the front of the garbage can in a more shadowy state. What is that thing? It looks like it's a ghost of a dad looking for his lost screwdriver. The way he's walking so determined with the flashlight. Also, how does a shadow figure produce light like that? Coming in at number 9, we have out for a stroll. The next clip looks so much like a real person, but then when you get close, you can see that the figure seems to not have legs. It's these ones that are so close to real that make you question whether or not this is just a camera screwing up or actually something much more mysterious caught on camera. Like, what is that thing? It could have been just someone out and about, or it could have been a ghost rushing to get to the monster mash. Let me know in the comments what you guys think this mysterious thing was. Coming in number 8, we have the darkness. This was a very strange thing that was spotted in the United States. There was some sort of strange energy that was spotted moving through America. Well, I don't know if spotted is the right way to put this. It was more like it wasn't spotted, but it was noticed. Let me explain this a little better so everyone can understand exactly what I'm talking about. So there was a series of blackouts that was seen on a ton of security cameras in a small American town. Basically, one after the other, security cameras would black out and stop recording for a short period of time. The strange thing about this is this didn't happen in one area all at once, like some sort of power outage. It swept through an area almost like it was rolling past the cameras and causing them to shut down. Some people speculate that this could have been some sort of government testing, a new type of ship that was sent out with some sort of destabilizing tech that can make any sort of filming equipment stop working. That actually sounds kind of accurate because it would make sense to have some sort of tech like that for military use. Coming in at number 7, we have the floating orb. Apparently, when you spot an orb floating around on camera, that means that there's something spectral going on. No one knows exactly what kind of spectral activity it could be. It could be a ghost passing through. It could be a couple ghosts walking into each other, giving off a charge. Maybe it's a ghost trying to alert people because they want to communicate with them. Either way, it always comes off a little creepy, especially when you see something like this.
An orb-shaped object has been spotted by surveillance cameras. This video, which has garnered more than 500 views on YouTube, was taken last Tuesday.
This was taken at the National Spacewalk Museum in Florida. I guess it's a ghost that really likes space travel and people who walk on the moon. Maybe it's Lance Armstrong himself who came to see how his life's work is being represented in the Spacewalk Museum. I mean, don't pretend like you wouldn't do the same thing if you were a ghost. I would go through all my old pictures on Instagram to see if anyone wrote some nice RIP messages. Coming in at number 6, we have a bag face. A man was spotted on a doorbell security camera moving through a neighborhood. Now, when you read that sentence, it doesn't seem that strange that someone would be having a nice stroll through a town. But when you find out that this person was walking up to people's doorsteps, staring at the door for a few minutes, and then leaving some packages on the front door, and then walking away, well then you start to realize that there was something very strange going on here. Inside this strange package was a note that had a bunch of names scribbled on it and some gibberish. They weren't names related to anyone in the home, so it doesn't seem like our mystery person actually knew the people in the homes he was visiting. Does that make it any less creepy? No, not at all. Well, at least he was caught on camera. We know what this dude looks like, right? Well, actually not. This guy was called Baghead for a reason. This dude had a canvas bag thrown over his head. He looked like Jason from the first couple Friday the 13th movies. Coming in at number 5, we have the Flash. A giant flash of bright light was spotted in Kansas on a security camera. It was so bright it seemed like it changed the night sky to daylight, but it was only for a second. Funny thing is, no one in the town reported seeing anything like this, but it comes through clear as day on the video. Do you think this was just a malfunction of the camera, or did a massive neuralizer go off and memory wipe the entire city? Coming in at number 4, we have strange lights. It seems like with all the cameras we have set up around the world, UFOs are starting to pop up more and more. I mean, they are so prevalent that the American military has now announced that UFOs are real. Does that mean aliens are real? Well, I guess we need to catch one to find out. But in the meantime, we have security cameras to catch what seems to be a UFO flying through the sky. They have been seen on security cameras tons of times, not in just America, but all over the world. I think it's safe to say that we are not alone in the universe. And if you had any questions about whether or not it was just the human race in the galaxy, well, I have our next point for you. Coming in at number 3, we have, is this an alien? So apparently this footage captures what's supposed to be an alien just out and about on his own. Now the only problem with this is it seems super close up and you can't really get a good look at this strange alien creature that might be lurking in this person's backyard. So let's get a good look at this, and I'll let you at home decide whether or not you think that this is an alien that came down from space to say hello on camera. It does look a little suspicious to me, the way that the body is formed and how fast and fluid it moves. I mean, it could just be a bug really close to the lens. When you look at a bug from straight on, it looks like something that landed here on an asteroid and wants to drink your spinal fluid like a Slurpee. And coming into the number 2 spot, we have meteor or alien. Something very strange was caught on a home security camera in Alberta. Most people on the internet are saying that this is a meteor coming down to Earth and burning up in the atmosphere. Now, it could be that, or it could be something else. Now that could just as easily be an alien ship coming into our atmosphere to come down to Earth so it can steal some more humans for testing. I don't really know if aliens frequent Alberta, but I wouldn't be surprised if they like to go there. There's a lot of open farmland there where you can come in and abduct someone without anyone else knowing or seeing. Either way, this is some very interesting footage. And coming into the number 1 spot, we have haunting your baby. I couldn't think of anything more frightening than having something haunting your baby, because it's one thing if it's coming after you. You can deal with it and you can protect yourself, but it's already hard to take care of your kids and to make sure that they don't get hurt. How are you supposed to protect your kids from something supernatural? But check out this video and tell me if it doesn't make you want to jump out of your own skin.
It's an image Heather and Josh say is haunting their home.
It was chilling. It was literally a chill.
What the hell on earth is that? You can see the shadow walking around in the background, just creeping around the baby's crib. How do you stop that? Do you put garlic around the crib to make sure that it can't come any closer? Also, how much of a boss is that baby? He wasn't scared at all. He just pops his head up and he's like, hey, what's going on in here? He was staring down the ghost like, hey dude, you got any snacks? I don't know who you are, but if you got snacks, we can be friends.
Off at number 10, we have a masked monkey wrench wielder. That's a tongue twister, you try it. Anyways, Mary Simonton, the YouTube user who posted the video, says she found out later that this was just a trick-or-treater, but before that she was initially really scared because she didn't know the context. And me too, like just have a look for yourself. This trick-or-treater rolls up at 7:06 p.m. on Halloween looking like, as Mary says, something out of The Purge. They are wearing a gray hoodie with a Purge-style mask and wielding a red monkey wrench. Like, while I'm sad this person didn't get the candy they were looking for, as we all should on Halloween, I don't blame Mary for steering clear. If you're at home alone and that shows up at your door, it's just better safe than sorry. Like, seriously, I legit went out trick-or-treating as a serial killer when I was 11 and I was less intimidating. That being said, I was dressed like a spoon while holding a butter knife to a mini box of corn pops, so obviously I wasn't that scary and it wasn't a cool costume, I have to admit, but
I'll be better this year, I swear. Anyways, enough about me. Let's move on to number 9. This one, we have a masked figure covering the camera. This video was uploaded to YouTube by user Jeff Davis, who said he was notified by his Ring doorbell that someone was at the door. This was shortly after him and his partner put their kids to bed. As you can see in the video, a masked figure comes up to the door and immediately covers the doorbell with what I believe is a sticker. After 4 seconds, the adhesive on one side wears off and suddenly peels away. But when this happens, the person is nowhere to be seen. Like, where did they go? Davis asked in the description whether viewers think it was kids up to no good or something more sinister, but what do you think? When I looked into this user, it didn't seem like he was hunting for views, so I think it's legit. It's creepy thinking that people out there are doing things like this for pranks when it's more than a little unsettling, right? That happened to me. I don't know. But anyways, on to number 8. We have what appears to be a clown with a machete. So another creepy one, alright. So we know that every once in a while there is a creepy clown phase that happens, and one result of these phases are clowns ringing doorbells. This time it's a clown appearing at a house in Toledo, Ohio. In this video we see a person wearing dirty white coveralls with yellow rubber gloves and a clown mask, and they're holding a machete. This person saunters up and hovers around the door before ringing the doorbell about 30 seconds into the video. At this point we get a good look at the creepy mask this person is wearing. This is where I know I'd be freaking out. If I saw this, I'd freaking scream, and I'm not even afraid of clowns. Don't try and tell me that you wouldn't be just at least a little bit scared if this shows up on your doorstep in the middle of the night. Jeez. But next, something good happens, I think. It appears the clown figure realizes the doorbell has a camera and walks off, or he realizes the doorbell has a camera and decides to try another entrance, but who knows? One thing is, with number 7, we know the outcome of the scary situation that was caught on camera. This video takes place in Dallas when the homeowner was at work. 2 men come up to her door and one knocks, but they leave quickly when they see the camera in the doorbell.
Oh, that's the camera right there.
Already, this seems suspicious. The house's owner, Kay, feels like something's not sitting right too, so she stays on the line with the Ring doorbell cam. It's a good thing she does, because within minutes the two are back and attempting to kick down her door.
Hello? Cops are on their way.
The homeowner, Kay, scares them off just by saying hello. Then, as they run, she warns them that the police are on their way. A little epilogue for you: the 2 men aren't caught right away, but within a couple of weeks, with the help of Ring, the doorbell provider spreading the footage, the 2 men are arrested. Which, good thing, because I wouldn't want anyone trying to like kick down my door, because I don't know, what if the hinges are rusty? I'm afraid. Ooh. But not everyone gets as smooth an experience with Ring, the doorbell camera thing, as Kay did, the last homeowner. At number 6, we have the creepy case where the voice answering the doorbell wasn't the voice of the owner of the house. This video was uploaded by YouTube user Brian Goley back in October of 2017. When he got a Ring doorbell from Home Depot, it appeared to have been one that was returned before, you know, slightly opened in the case. And even after having the account apparently wiped, he was hearing another man's voice answering his doorbell for him.
Yo.
Who is this? Why is somebody...
Imagine forgetting your keys and ringing the doorbell to your own house only for someone else to say a little hello? Spooky, right?
Why are you answering my doorbell?
Somehow it's getting disconnected to my doorbell.
With his wife and him thoroughly creeped out that someone else was receiving and answering their alerts, they talked to Ring support again. And they found out that the MAC ID on the box and the MAC ID on the device didn't even match. So watch out with the gadgets you're getting. Eventually, Ring sent Goley a brand new unit, so it was fixed. Talking about getting something new, let's move on to number 5, another creepy dressed up character. YouTube user Katrina Vega was waiting for a UPS package that was scheduled to come at 8 p.m. at night. She gets a Ring notification that someone is at her door, which she ignores, as many of us do, because we all ignore our doors if the doorbell rings. Let's be real. Because we all know that male people run away once they drop off a package, right? That's the meme. Anyways, she also may have ignored it because she thought nothing was up. The thing is, her package wasn't there when she checked for it. So she checked her doorbell footage, and lo and behold, this creepy person in a costume was lingering at her door with a weird lollipop for a whole minute. What if she opened the door? What then? You know, what then? See, this is why I always wait for one of my roomies to answer the door, because I can't deal with this. Do you realize how short I am? My legs are— I can't run from these people. No. But anyways, what's another thing other than creepy late night encounters that you hope not to see when checking your doorbell camera? fire. At number 4, we have a fire across the street. About 3 years ago in Clovis, California, Catherine Gahn woke up from a Ring notification. Although there was no one at her door, the motion sensor was triggered at 4 in the morning. The bell triggered because a fire was raging across the street. So across the street, all of her neighbors were sound asleep, none the wiser, and things could have taken a turn for the worse. Thank goodness Gahn raced across the street and woke up her neighbors. So their lives were saved. Next up at number 3, we have a woman scaring the residents of this home at 2 a.m.
Mom.
This woman shakes her hair at the doorbell camera and is peering into it, kind of like this, and it's not the most comforting or typical greeting at a door for sure. YouTube user Chelsea Brewer uploaded this video earlier this year, asking viewers to help her figure out what the lady is saying. Can you figure it out?
Say help me, please. Miss K.
I hear her begin to whisper sayings like, "Do you want to see?" and the word "mom" in kind of a haunting voice, and she walks off after, but if that happened to me, I know I wouldn't be answering the door. And honestly, I wouldn't be answering the next one either. At number 2, we have footage of a creepy kid in what appears to be a scary baby doll mask. In a video uploaded by Donnie and Leanne on YouTube, the kid, which they believe is a girl, is scary. So the kid rings the bell, backs up a step or two, and then starts to sing ominously before charging at the camera and screaming. I had to watch that clip more than once, and I wish I didn't have to. I can't handle jump scares. So like next, we're just gonna move on to the next one. Watch the video again for yourself if you really want to. Put yourself through that. Okay. Anyways, last on our list at number 1 is an actual alleged kidnapping. In September in Arcadia, California, a Ring doorbell camera caught footage of a neighbor abusing his estranged girlfriend. In the video, the woman runs up to the door, clearly scared, and knocks frantically. Then you can see the man ran up, grabbed her by the hair, and dragged her off the porch and onto the lawn. During this, she called out for help and screamed no. The footage is appalling, but the good news is that the man was arrested thanks to the doorbell camera.